two significant things are happening, and I don't want you to be unaware. For those of us who are outside the UK, I mean, those of you who are outside the UK, and also the second category are those that are within the UK on a care worker visa or skilled worker visa or any visa category at all. So for those outside the UK, there is the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program that allows you to submit innovative ideas or innovative businesses that are young, and their investors, I mean, their angel investors that are willing to sponsor and fund your idea or your existing business with $5,000. You know, I won in 2023. That was 2 years ago. And I started talking about it, sharing my personal experience, my personal journey, which has helped a lot of people. This year, 2025, I can proudly say that 2 winners have emerged from my YouTube channel. Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program kickstarts on the 1st of January of every year. So you have less than 30 days to the start of another registration. If you live outside the UK and you have innovative idea for African country, you can apply and start planning towards it. One category of people are those within the UK that are struggling with their sponsorship, those that have uncertainty about their stability in the UK. I understand how a lot of people are struggling either to renew their visa, to save up for their post-study work visa and the likes. Now, the UK government has relaxed the innovator founder visa by removing some caps that made it really difficult in the past. But a lot of people are asking, how do I know if my idea is innovative? How do I come up with an innovative idea? So today, I have somebody who won Tony Elumelu Foundation grant, who had an innovative idea in 2024 and won the grant. You know, I also won in 2023. And later, I'm going to be interviewing the person who recently won in 2025 so that we can all share how we came about our idea and what an innovative idea really means, so as to help you if you're going to be putting in your application for Innovator Founder Visa or Tony Elumelu Foundation. I have here with me my friend and my colleague. We went to the same university. We were in the same class. He's a pharmacist, married to a medical doctor. He foundation grant in 2024. He has an existing business. In fact, he had an existing business at that time, which was quite young. And guys, he's in his office in the pharmacy. That's it. I can see that's the cubicle. To be having a comprehensive chat so as to prepare you if you're going to be applying for tech, and also to let you know what an innovative idea is, because I know a lot of people are already saying that innovative founder visa is a scam. The UK is a scam. Right, you guys are correct. But at the same time, the UK, they recognize and they reward effort. So I don't believe that if you truly have an innovative idea and you put in your idea, I don't think that they would deny you if truly your idea is innovative. And if you have gone through the Tony Elumelu Foundation Entrepreneurship Program, you would know and you would be able to, you stand a better chance at getting this innovator founder visa. Good thing is, whether you are outside the UK or within the UK, you can apply. As long as your idea is going to transform the UK economy and going to provide employment for the citizens, that is what you're after. Adedotun, welcome to the channel.
Thank you for having me. I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm a pharmacist by profession, just like everybody is a pharmacist and they have a retail pharmacy business. But what we call innovation has to do with something peculiar to you. For me, what I understand by when they say innovation, like your business is innovative, it really has to do with something that is unique to you, that as your gift has a foundation that you tend to explore and use in your business, that makes your business different and tends to attract people over and over to you. What is that one thing that differentiates you from the market? That it's innovative enough. Innovative means that it's different, that it is unique, and that's the right word, unique to you, that differentiates you from everybody in the business world, that you are doing that is profitable enough to attract people to you. Me as a pharmacist, there are many retail pharmacies, but there is something that we are doing differently. I call it relationship marketing. And what does that mean? Prior to even starting a business, I'm a kind of a person that I am analytical. When I meet with people, I love to sit with them so that they will be able to understand the basis of what I am saying. And from understanding those bases, they can come up with a solution. They will be able to even see a solution from what I'm saying. That is something unique to me prior to that. Now, as I started my business, that also became a tool that I started to use with people when I meet them on a daily basis. So, like, I'm an average person that I don't just allow when I meet with you one-on-one, especially with the customer. I remember a client while starting up, even I think within the year that I started, who was battling with hypertension at the time. This customer was even already fed up, and she has said a lot of things about it. So now I needed to use my unique skills in terms of trying to assure the patient, the client, because I know what it means. Aside from the medical point of view, there is also a psychological point of view with respect to medicine that makes you that as you try things over and over again, because how do I put it? There's something called somatic disorder that we do not even find the medical basis for what you are going through, but we know that there is just a disorder somehow that is preventing what we are giving to you, preventing from what. So I needed to give that customer or that client an assurance. So I sat with that client and I began to monitor, okay, what are the drugs you are using? I looked at those drugs one-on-one. Like for me, it's something unique to me to sit with a customer or a client for more than 31 hour, because there is what it does to that client, especially when they have that sense of assurance always, all the time, that things are going to be well. That was how I started with it. Then I took the drugs. I looked at what are the drug interaction that may be there. What are some of the issues and all of those things. So what are the things that I needed to withdraw? What are the new things that I needed to bring in? It was so surprising. About, I think, 1 month later, a customer came to me and we checked the BP. The BP was coming down. Now, what was different? I want to give a feeling of assurance. I want to give you that possibility that regarding your health, it is possible. You can break free. That is the point of view I come from all the time when I'm meeting with a client. You know the problem we have currently in Nigeria. And many times, you need to identify a gap for you to solve a problem. In an average hospital, even when my wife is a medical doctor, even when a doctor is meeting with a patient, because the doctor to patient ratio is even far and wide. There is that wide gap between the doctor in that ratio. Now, it gives an average. It does not give an average Nigerian who visit the hospital. It does not even give him a hope. And so we in the pharmaceutical sector, we are like many times the first point of contact. In fact, many times I even call it a primary health care center, whereby when you are doing your job as a pharmacist and you are doing it from the unique perspective of who you are, of how you want to give an assurance to a customer or a client at all times, how you want to solve. There is something called pharmacotherapeutic option, all this pharmacological therapy, the treatment. When you begin to look at it and they know that you know what you are doing, because you have to do this with assurance, with confidence, people will come. Because many times it's even from one place to the other. Nothing beats word of mouth. Word of mouth referral. Someone talking to another person about you, another person coming in, and before you know it, another person is telling another person. And that is how you begin to grow your customer base until you have a satisfactory customer base. So that has been what we have been working on since inception that makes our business unique and innovative enough. Thank you. And let me say it again. Now we are now exploring the use of technology, and that is another aspect that has to do also with my own uniqueness as to what I want to bring in into the business. That's to also it has to do with my analytical point of I want to bring in something, a solution, and we are currently working on that too.
The idea that I submitted is somehow similar to what you just explained. And for you to be an innovator at all, really, you don't need something entirely new, like an idea that's never existed in the world. I won the grant with just an idea. I didn't have a business. You had an
A
existing
business.
business. But something
Yeah.
similar, there's something similar in our story. We both looked for problem. So as an
Yeah.
innovator, first thing is you have to be somebody who likes to look for problem, not looking
No.
for trouble.
Yeah.
You have to be
Yeah.
solution minded. You have to be a solution provider. And it doesn't take so much from you to be that. Number one, somebody came up with an idea. Okay, in the Stone Age, there were no cars, even in the Western world. And somebody thought about it. How can we come up with something that would make mobility easier for people? People are trekking. It's so hard. It's draining. It's overwhelming. People get tired. It's
Yeah.
limiting. Some people want to travel far, but they can't do it on their feet. So somebody or some group of people came up with an idea of a bicycle. Okay, how about we get something that
Yeah.
moves? And
Yeah.
somebody else came up. Oh, now we have a bicycle. What are the limitations with this bicycle? Oh, it has just two wheels. It's not steady. People are falling. What is the problem with this existing innovation? And someone said, okay, how about we make the wheels three? And they came up with a
Yeah.
tricycle. And somebody also built on that idea. How do I improve on this? The tricycle is good, but it also has its limitations. Somebody came up with cars. Somebody also thought, okay, cars are good, but they are small. How can we even make something bigger that would be able to solve more problems, carry more load, transport more people? Somebody came up with buses, lorries, and co. And somebody else thought, okay, people these ones have limitations. How about we come up with something that can travel far, wide, over the seas, and they came up with aircraft, with ships and the likes. In fact, you don't really need to come up with something entirely new like those people, you know. In my own case, because my story is quite similar, in 2020, when we had the COVID pandemic, it brought out a lot of, it gave us insights to a lot of limitations that we have in the health sector. So as an individual, look at your own area of expertise. What is lacking? Just try to niche down. You can't solve many problems. If you want to be unique, you have to be able to taper down what problem you're solving. Maybe you're a tech guru in the tech industry, in that particular niche. What are the limitations? Take, for instance,
Yeah.
when I got to the UK, it is recently that I heard Keir Starmer, the Prime Minister of the UK, talking about the idea
Yeah.
I submitted for Tony Elumelu Foundation in 2022.
Mhm.
I used the money to jackpot. But
Mhm.
seriously, the idea still exists. It's in the health sector. Like you said, in
Yeah.
over the world, the patient to doctor ratio is very high. The patients are more than the doctors. It's overwhelming, right? And here in the UK, take for instance, doctors are allowed 10 minutes for consultation per patient. They've got only 10 minutes to attend to you for consultation. And you have to come with just one problem at a time. You cannot have, maybe your child is sick, you're also sick, you're poorly, they call it poorly here, and your child is poorly at the same time. And now say, like we do in Nigeria, you go in with both your child and yourself and complain. Here, you have to do it differently. You have to register for your child differently and for yourself differently for consultation, and you've got 10 minutes each. So the time is not there. How then can I bring a solution? And that was what I did. Also, people don't necessarily have to go to the hospital before they talk to a medical doctor or a specialist. How can we bridge that gap? On their way, some people have had automobile accidents just because they were trying to go to the hospital. Other people
Yeah.
did not save time, like things that they need to just tell them, do this. and then your problem would be solved, right? You don't really have to come. Or maybe a first aid, do this and this would help while you're preparing to come. And other times, some people don't really need to see doctors. Like you said, there is a psychological, emotional aspect of illnesses that the medicinal aspect is not taken care of. Even in the UK, when they know about mental health and psychology, the doctor to patient ratio is still very low. And
Yeah.
sometimes what patients need, like the instance I gave during my own time, was when like some people with chronic ailments or terminal
Yeah.
ailments, they see doctors and you just give them medications, just give them tablets. How about their psychological needs, the fear of dying, the fear of,
Yeah.
like sometimes they hear of somebody with similar ailment that's just passed, and the trauma, who takes care of that? And that was how I came. But I won my own grants in the tech field. Like I was coming up with an app, you know.
Okay.
So as an innovator, you need to look beyond business. You have to look for problems. And this is also similar
Yeah.
in the real estate world here in the UK, when people want to buy mortgages. Investors look for problems. People who just want to buy to live, they look for fashion, they look for glitter, something that is fashionable. So as an investor, as an innovator, you are like an investor. Look for problems, and that is the innovative aspect of it. Try to solve a problem. You are an authority. Look for problems there, and how. Then we now have something called innovator founder visa. You have to be innovative. Tony Elumelu Foundation grant, you have to be innovative. What other skill or requirements are you expected to have? Your business idea or existing business needs to be scalable,
Yeah.
to be
Yes.
viable. So let's talk about, because
Yeah.
this sound like big grammars for people. Don't let me say laymen, but for people, it may sound like big grammar. What is scalability? What is viability? Can we break it down? How can you say your business is viable? What do they mean when they say your business has to be viable?
Viability, from that word. Viability means living, viable. That this thing is living. This thing can it can keep working. You know, when different challenges come, this thing will still endure after the challenges. So, research actually says that most business don't even survive, I think, after a period of 5 years. And many times they are basically, when issues like that happen, they are based on some foundational problems. Now, let me say some things. When people, you will see people trying to enter into a business without first having an understanding of that business analysis, market analysis. Like I said the other time, we have market forces of supply and demand. I remember when we were taking the Tony Elumelu, I think the first period when I was applying, there were a lot of questions that were asked, and they were asking something regarding market analysis. Many people don't even know whether people are in demand, whether your business is in demand. You don't know the what do you call it now? You don't know the market demands. You don't know there is something called the international, how do they put it? I think international market demands. There is something that has to do with the market demands in your region and where your business is located. There is something that has to do with the demands of your business. And this comes with a lot of analysis. Analysis comes in different form, whether it's to take questionnaire from the different kinds of people in your area as to whether if this business is set up in this area, do you think you will buy this product? Do you think you will be able to take on these services? This is what analysis is all about. And many times when we are now talking about business viability, it all boils down to this foundational problem initially at the beginning, where people don't even understand their business, enter into this business, and at the end of the day, the business does not survive. So Viability is about survival because challenges, problems will come in the middle of in the middle of the business while doing the business. And we are now saying that, is your business able to stand that test? Is your business, will it still be able to be profitable even even if it is not profitable at that time? Will it keep meeting the demands eventually until it's able to reach a break point, and whereby you are in profit from there on? So viability is about survival. It's about the fact that your business can it still live through the challenges and will still be able to exist at that period. So that is what viability means.
Right. Thank you so much. In addition to what you just said, I would like to say that for you to determine whether your business or your business idea is viable or not, there's no how you can do that without market research, right? We talked about your idea or your business being innovative. There are a lot of people, I've met a lot of people that come up with different ideas, from my channel, asking me, oh, I want to start selling smoked fish. Can I apply for Tony Elumelu Foundation with that? I want to go into poultry. Can I apply with that? It's not just about having a business. You have to put in
Yeah.
work. Whether you're applying for Tony Elumelu Foundation entrepreneurship program or you're applying for the innovator founder visa, it's not just enough for you to come up with an idea or a beautiful idea that you think, oh, people are already doing this business, it's selling. You need to do market research to know, is this innovative idea viable? And what do we mean by viability? Is it realistic? You don't set you don't set your expectation on vague assumptions. If you want to do something that is real, then you have to make real research. Okay, people that are already in this pharmacy business, how are they doing it? How much are they making? What's like the profit margin they are putting? What are the marketing strategies that they already have? Now you infuse your own brilliant, new, unique idea. Because by the time for innovator founder visa, by the time you're submitting your business plan or whatever, part of the questions the investors, the assessors, they are going to ask you are these things. And for Tony Elumelu Foundation grants, by the time you're pitching, because you still have to make videos, right? You have to come up with a business plan. These are some of the questions on your business plan that you need to answer. How realistic is your business? You talk about profitability. You cannot say, I want to start selling amala. That is like 150. It was like 150 naira in those days. You
Mm.
cannot say, okay, I want to sell my home for 250 naira. I want to sell my home for 500 naira. You can do, of course, but you have to justify. Why? Is it that your own is different from their own? Have they actually altered some of the formulation in your own? You should be able to justify whatever profit you want to put or whatever cost, right? Also, we talk about market audience, target markets. Who are your target markets? You cannot say your business is viable when you don't even know who are the people I am targeting to use my products. I recall during my time, I had to now say, okay, these are the set of people that I think would need my service. Ordinary,
Yeah.
a typical Nigerian would prefer to go to the hospital to see a doctor. But people, the elite, somebody who's educated, who's exposed, wouldn't mind speaking to a doctor on an app. They wouldn't mind paying for
Yeah.
consultation to see a doctor from any part of the world on an app, right? So not everybody is going to embrace your idea. This is where marketing strategies come into play. You want to sell fish. Do you want to sell fish to everybody? Do you want to supply your own fish to certain category of the population? Do you want to start selling eggs? Do you want to sell to everybody? Or you want to carve a niche for yourself? Or you want to sell to just politicians? Take, for instance, I sell ready to wear here in the UK. And before I started, I just had an idea. I had this brilliant idea, right? That okay, oh, my children need to know their roots. They need to be able to identify with their culture, even though they're outside Nigeria, they're outside Africa. How do I incorporate that into that was what inspired the sales of ready to wear, right? African ready to wear. Now, I didn't do proper research because when I had that idea, I thought I was the only one. I thought, oh, this idea is beautiful. Ah, people would embrace it. Little did I know. By the time I now went on to do my market research, I started looking on TikTok everywhere. Who are the people doing this? I saw that there were lots of people already doing this business. Even at that, I did not really know how many. I just saw other people doing it. I watched how they did it. I tried to see, okay, where are they sourcing from? I tried to get few contacts, spoke with them, right? But even at that, by the time I started the business, a lot of realities have been unfolding that I didn't see. Now imagine if I did not do any market research at all. Did you know that you would
Yeah, yeah,
you would likely sell more in the summer than in the winter because of the type of clothing?
mm,
Did you put all those into consideration? Did you decide, do you want to sell luxury clothing, or you want to sell everyday casual, or you want to sell Afrocentric? And when we say Afrocentric, is it just about Nigerian clothing? You know, you have to be
yeah,
able to define, do I want to make winter clothes in African prints? Who do I want to target? Are they people in the corporate world? Are they people that need fast outfits ready to wear? Are they plus size? Are they people that have small upper parts and bigger hips? You should be able, if you say your innovation wants to be unique, your idea wants to be unique, you have to do all those assignments. You want to do the viability aspect. Is it realistic? And now talking about scalability. What do you understand by scalability? This video is going to be long, but I hope it helps someone, even if it's just one person.
yeah,
What did you
yeah,
understand by scalability?
yeah. Before I go to that, I will also want to talk about that. Market research help you to, there is something called good timelines for your business. That you have set a plan 2 years, 5 years, 8 years. And that's the reason why they will ask you a lot of questions with respect to your business. Some of the questions would be that in the next 2 years, what do you think you would have achieved? What do you think you would have achieved in the next 2 years? What do you think you would have achieved in the next 5 years? When there is a thorough market research, it enables you to even know seasons, when you should put these things into perspective, when you should plan this. So you cannot separate market research and the goal timeline. You cannot separate it from your business. Now, going to scalability. Scalability has to do with reproducibility in the right word. And what do I mean by that? The ability for your business to run, or how do I put it? The ability for your business to run far ahead, even from your location. It also has to do with business expansion. Expansion could be expanding beyond your locality. It can be expanding beyond even the region that you are. Can your business expand beyond your locality? Can your business be reproduced in another place? Can you scale? That's what scalability means. And it has to do with, when you move from one area to the other, can profit increase? So Tony Elumelu Foundation, they are always fixated on that. What can your business be reproduced in another locality, in another area, and would it still be profitable? So business scalability, it may not even be about taking your brand, having a branch in another place. It can also be that it can also be in terms of expanding. When will an expansion may be diversifying into new product offering. And see, when we talk about diversifying into new product offering, it simply means that there is market demand for it. What are your customers or clients asking? that now allows you that within that same short space, you are diversifying into new product offerings. So that is something called scalability. It might also be expanding your shop space, your areas to accommodate more things. So scalability has to do with reproducibility, that whatever I am making right now, if I bring in more things, can it can it increase the profitability of my business? Can it expand my product offering? So that is what is known as scalability. Thank you.
Thank you very much. That's all. You see, like you said, you cannot disassociate scalability from profitability. Because for you to scale in your business, that means you're making profit. You're not expected to bring that capital from another source to start,
Yeah.
scaling. You're expected
Scaling.
to
Yeah.
keep reinventing, running your business with your capital and maybe the profit you have
Yeah.
made over time. Are you able, like you said, it's also about employability, especially here in the UK for the government. The primary reason of this innovator founder visa, is job creation. And how can you employ staff when you're not making profits? Part of the
Yeah.
requirement before, when you're on an innovator founder visa and you qualify for ILR after 3 years, part of the criteria that you need to meet includes that your business must have employed one full-time staff for 1 year or two
Mm.
part-time staff for 1 year each. So if your business is not scaling, of course, you will still be the one running it alone because you're trying to manage
Yeah.
resources.
Yeah.
And that means
Yeah.
you have to also look inwards. Is this idea or this business, does it have demand for it? So beyond just having beautiful, innovative idea that is viable, are there demands? Because in fact, the major reason for running any business, if you're not running a charity, is to make profit. And why would you
Yeah.
even venture into a business that does not have high demands if you are expected to make high profits? Because, for instance, the innovator founder visa, you need to also have a minimum of £50,000 in investment by the end of the third year. Imagine starting off with
Yeah.
just an idea, zero account balance. And after 3 years, you're expected to have at least £50,000 in investment in that business. That means that business
Yeah.
idea must be profitable. You have to incorporate all of this into your business idea. Or if you already have an existing business, you try to, make sure that your existing business answers all of these questions. Now, let's go
Yeah.
properly into the Tony Elumelu Foundation grant. During my own time in 2023, 5,000 US dollars when they gave us, because they are going to give you equivalent in naira, was about 2.7 plus million naira. And I guess during your time it
Really.
was way bigger, like
Way bigger.
5.7. I think it
Did
was like
it? No, it's even 7.
5.7. That was in
Yeah.
2024. Whoa! You people
Yes.
cheated us. So you see, now imagine 2026. All things being equal, it should also be around that 7 million, because I think the market is a bit stable for now. Imagine somebody investing that amount, angel investor, just giving you, they are not expecting you to pay that money back. And regardless of your current location, as long as you can prove to them and convince them that this is your idea, and it meets all these requirements, because these are what you're going to base your results on, right? You will be given the money. You'll be giving them. And I will admonish anyone, don't be like me. Please use the money for the right course. Because trust me, I regret that I didn't kickstart my business. I have the money now,
Mm.
but I don't have the human resources that I had back then. I have
Mm.
at least I have that amount now. I have the time, but I don't have the expertise, because I needed, people to design an app for me. I needed people in the front end, back end. I had them at that time because my plan was convincing. I made my research. I met with tech gurus. I met with them. In fact, I had a design for my app. There's a name they call that design, like a sketch for my app at that time. The desperation to leave Nigeria at that time, I just pumped all the money into moving, and now I'm here and I'm idle. I'm not doing much because of childcare. And I imagine if I had started that business in 2023. Now I hear customers saying that they want to go into online consultation, that you don't need to go to the NHS for every issue. And I was like, when I watched that on TV, I was like, oh my goodness, so they don't even have that existing here yet. This is my idea. They may not do it exactly the way I wanted to do it, but this is the idea I submitted for Tony Elumelu.
What that was a project for us that we just ventured into. We hired they call them full stack developer, a tech developer, because we are now saying that people need beyond the face to face consultation. So we decided that we were going to go online. We actually designed the web platform for our business too. We decided to it has on it telemedicine. Telemedicine takes you far beyond what you can even think. And what we are even planning to do currently now is now to work with many of these health insurance companies as to
Mm.
how you can now even make this thing affordable for customers. The way we are now more technologically oriented now, the way the world is getting to now, it might get to a point that, especially in a very bossy, noisy area, especially in this part of the world, I'm in Ibadan, every time from 8 o'clock, people are already off to their place of work. Many people can't even, for me personally, I don't even like going to the hospital. I don't, for any reason. If not for the father, I now have a baby that I need to, okay, for them, I don't even like to go to the hospital. So, and for a very busy person that every day, every now and then, a medical emergency may just occur. You have something that is just within your reach to reach out to a medical professional. If you have something to reach out to a medical professional within a space of 10 minutes, and you have your medical problem solved. I believe that at a very affordable amount, I believe that people will be able to take advantage of that. And that is what we are getting to here in this part of the world. And well, it has not been widely accepted, but people are already on it. They are doing it such that you need to even market these products to people, and you have to do fantastic advert as to how this will really solve people's problem. And believe me sincerely, it will get to a point that you will be within the comfort of your house, and you will have all your medical needs met, except things that maybe now has to do with advance, such as surgery, or you need to even take some. In fact, it's even getting to a point that even diagnostic service, there is a sort of home care services whereby such people would even be sent to your home to get the diagnostic service done for you
They do
within
it
the
here
comfort of your
anyway.
place. And
Mm.
before you know it, they get the test done. You have your results within a space of 1 hour, 2 hours, depending on the test. So that is what it's getting into. So that is what technology can do for us in this part of, and we are, by the grace of God, we are venturing into that, and we want to see how this can go beyond even what we are doing physically.
Doctor, did you know that I had not
Yeah.
even been to the Western world when I submitted TEF? And I said, okay, these consultations would be in different categories: preventative, like precautionary, right?
Yeah.
First aid, nutrition, um,
Yeah.
that's a lifestyle modification. It doesn't really need to be tablets, medication, right? And I said, okay, we would now see how we can network and work with community pharmacies and health
Mm.
facilities, such that you
Yeah.
integrate tech into it, like they are doing here. I never
Yeah.
knew these things existed here, that you would send out prescription from the hospital and you go and get your prescription. You don't have to come to the hospital. Take it, pick it up
Yeah.
from the nearest pharmacy to you. My
Yeah.
brother, when I got to this country, I was like, God, So even if you are currently in the UK, you can research about things happening in the US that they don't have here in the UK yet. Things in Canada that at the end of the day, right? Your business can actually what is the English now? Your business can network with other places, like with existing businesses in
Yeah.
those other markets. And there's a way you guys would form a good network. So because the UK
Yeah.
seems not to have much problems. That's the problem. A lot of
Yeah.
us seem to see the UK as a country with zero problem. That the only thing that thrives in the UK, the only business is service. UK is service based, kind of. It's not product based, and that's why you need to look inwards and make research. In fact, we can't even leave this aspect yet. Talking about business plan, I believe that
Yeah.
that's what the Elumelu Foundation template of business plan would help anybody that is applying for innovator founder visa here, because it's basically the same thing. When I went through this innovator founder visa, I was like, I can submit my plan. It may fly because it's just the same. So, guys, if you need the template for Tony Elumelu Foundation business plan, just reach out to me. I don't have it, but I'm sure you do. You do have your own.
I
You
think I
still have
still
yours.
have mine.
Uh-huh. I don't have
Yeah.
mine anymore. I don't think I have mine. But one way or the other, because I have people, past beneficiaries, we should be able to get it for you to see and look through and be able to come up with answers, because it's basically like the NHS, your person specification, which would be your template for answering your supporting statements. So that template is what you use to plan to structure your business plan. They ask you question, you come up with something innovative and give the questions the right approach, and that's all you need. And be able to, do your market research, be involved. I remember those days I was working in the community. I would sit my patient down and explain my idea to some of them, the ones that I saw. There was an elderly man, he appeared like somebody who was well traveled. I sat him down and I did all the vitals that I wanted to do for him, and I explained my idea. I asked him, would you patronize me? And he was the one that made it clear, like, "See, this idea is fantastic, it's beautiful, but don't think that everybody would embrace it. It will take time." Marketing strategies, because it's also part of
Okay.
what you're answering in your business plan. You will answer your target market. What are your target market? They would say in dollars. I got really confused
Yeah.
answering that. But I don't remember how I came through. I just did
Market size.
the market size.
Market size
And when they say in
in
dollars,
dollars.
I was like, what is in
Yeah.
dollars? So you do some
Yeah.
mathematics there, and
Yeah.
they are based on your market research. If you have done your research, let's assume that we have 230 million people in Nigeria. Let's assume that out of the 230 million, like 200 million people will need medical care. Out of the 200, let's say 150 are they are receptive of this idea. Let's say the 200 million want to go to the hospital, but out of them, 150 says they can use my
Yeah.
option.
They
Out
call
of
it
those,
they call it addressable market, serviceable market, addressable, serviceable market. Yeah.
so that's how you come about your market target or market size in dollars. Now, when they say marketing strategy, you have to be, like you mentioned,
Yeah.
you have to be strategic. You also need to learn that, or what is the English? Either you learn it or you contract it out to professionals.
Mm.
So when you have all this information, you'll be able to deploy a marketing strategy to meet your audience.
And can you give me some? And I would also like to talk about, see, the financial aspect of your business. That is very important because it determines everything. There are a lot of people that they have the innovative skills, they understand the marketing strategy, but we are not asking you to become an accountant, but we are asking the basic minimum. How does your business make profits? How does your business make profits? What is your cost? what is the cost of production? What is the cost incurred to bring those products to your place of to either your shop space or to the place where you sell? We are talking about what is your profit. We are talking about what is the margin, what is the markup, what is the margin, what is the markup. Because Tony Ilumeli actually asked that, and it will be funny that people don't even know, how do I make money? And how do I make money is simply, what is your cost, what is your selling price, what is the margin. Put that margin in terms of percentage. What is your percentage, your markup profits, the percentage profits. So simple things like that. What are your expenses? And your expenses are could be tied to is really called the operating expenses. What are the things that I incur in selling these products? What are the things that I incur in making these products? All those things needs to be understood, and it must be factored in. It must be factored in everything, because that is how you will really know what, in fact, sometimes that determines the profit you put into your business, based on what did it take for me to be able to be able to get to this cost, and what is the thing that I'm putting on it in terms of profit that can match my cost, that I can say that I am making a profit. So many times people don't know it, and it's about the financial side of your business that it needs to be known. I remember them taking us through what we call profit and loss, the profit and loss statements.
Those their live sessions, I did not
That is
I
your
did not
business.
give attention because I was
Okay.
constantly at work. I just let it play. I signed my attendance and that's all. I never knew they spoke about all
Yeah,
these things.
okay.
It was this guy
They
that
spoke
was this
about
year. After the live, I said, so they taught us all the things in the live. I came across them doing my own research. I came across how to find profitability on Facebook. I saw the working like this. And after I did that, I didn't find that thing again. Next thing was showing me
it.
error. So it was just divine.
Yeah.
Like you rightly said, the financial implication. I remember I saw that time that when you work out your profitability, don't let it exceed 20%. I don't remember how I
Yeah.
got that information, but it should not be more than 20% when you're calculating your profitability. And that's why you need, again, to do your market research, because you've got people you're competing with. No matter how innovative or new your idea is, there are people in that sector that have similar things that they are doing or similar items that they are selling. So you always have competitors, and you have to bear that in mind when you are putting your financial numbers. Also, if the angel investors for Tony Elumelu Foundation grants are willing to give grant of $5,000, you're not expected to exceed that amount. You can't come up with financial expenses of
Something,
more
yeah.
than.
Yeah, you can't. You can't. You can't.
Because
Yeah,
but
you
that
should
way
not.
that already disqualifies you. That means they can't help
Yeah,
you.
you should not. Yeah,
So
you
it's
should
you
not.
should
You should
target
not.
that whatever financial implication you're going to meet, including the miscellaneous, because I remember I did that too. That was when I asked those tech guys, app developers, they gave me real amounts. That's why I'm saying
Yeah.
they can't be vague. You have to be realistic, because the people you're submitting your plan to, they have this information that people in those sectors, they know what is obtainable. So you can't just come with assumptions when you are expected to put reality. So I spoke with those app guys. They gave me real figures that I put in, and I made sure that whatever, even my marketing strategies, what are you going to do? Are you going to distribute flyer, put some on cars, even on taxis, go on radio stations, TV stations, run ads on Facebook, run ads everywhere, all those things.
Yeah.
It should still not exceed $5,000.
Yes.
Maximum
Yes.
$5,000 on the dot. Right. For people that would be applying for the innovator founder visa as well, I am very certain that if your application should fly, you would get loans, probably loans from angel investors, maybe not grants here in the UK, but you get banks to loan you. So for your business plan too, you also need to put all these financial implications. Because now the
Yeah.
government has lifted the cap of 50,000. Before now, for you to apply for the innovator, it was formerly called the innovator visa. You needed to have a minimum of 50,000 pounds or something. But now the government took off that restriction and they said, if you're living in the UK for the past 1 year or more, you don't really need to show us anything. But if you'll be
Mm.
coming from outside the UK, you need to show a minimum of like £1,270 in your account. So now it still doesn't mean that you don't need money for that idea. You still need money. I believe that it is at that stage when your endorser, when your assessor, I believe that it is at that stage when the assessors have approved your business plan and everything, and you have your assessment letter, maybe you've applied for your visa, you can walk up to any bank and they would give you loan to fund your business. Meaning that in your business plan, you should have a breakdown of your financial expenses as well for
Okay.
your idea. It
Yeah.
doesn't mean that because the government is not asking you for any money,
Yeah.
then you will say that I just want to sell idea, and the idea will cost me nothing. It's definitely will cost you money.
Nothing. Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you can walk up to banks, you can get fundings, you can even get grants. So don't just say in your business plan, you not put any financial, you need to put financial expenses. You need to be realistic. That's also what I remember to talk about. Tony Illuminating Foundation grants, the application starts on the 1st of January of every year. So we've got less than 30 days. And for my set, when we applied, the only thing we did was to answer the basic questions when they asked us, what's your business about? Then I knew that I had to answer certain questions like, what is the problem? Have I identified the problem?
Yeah.
What is the solution? Who are the competitors? What is my unique selling points?
Yeah.
Like, who are my target audience? So in your application, these are things you need to answer. I recall last year, I encouraged one of my friends to apply. She's a lecturer at the Federal College of Education, special school. So she has all the experience with people with disability, physical learning disability. And I encouraged her. You are, so to say, a teacher in this line. You can come up with something unique. There's so many people with learning disability in Nigeria, so many people with defects that their parents are hiding them. They don't even allow them go to school. And it's simply because they're afraid they might be in danger when they let them go to school, or what are they even learning? Some of them, their parents can't work because they can't leave the kids. You can come up as an agency that will send, maybe your teachers, to them to teach them in the home. Something like that. I don't know how she puts her application, but she didn't obviously move to the onboarding phase. But these are ideas, these are problems. During my time, we just put in our application and then we waited certain period. I think for your set, you kickstarted earlier than we did. And
Okay.
also for your
Yes.
set, you did something like quiz before the onboarding. We didn't do
Yeah.
that. We don't have
Yeah.
any, I can't recall
Quiz
having.
after the application. There was an extensive application. That is your application, what you are applying. But immediately after the application, when you are done, there is now a short quiz. I think about 10. And they will time you for, I think, 30 minutes. No, what am I saying? Maybe 10 minutes. So you are supposed to take that quiz. And I think it also forms part of the assessment. And many people didn't even know. That's even the I think I
Because
don't I
started
think
with
when I
you.
was also doing it then.
We
Yes,
didn't
when I
do
was
that.
also doing it then, I didn't know that I was going to take a quiz after completing the application. I just saw the quiz. So immediately I did that. I had a friend who I also encouraged to apply. He didn't even know. I'd even forgotten. He didn't even know. It was the day the application was going to end. That was when he was going to come. So he completed the application. I think about maybe 5 minutes to the end, because he did it towards, even because it was going to close 11:59, I think, PM.
Yeah.
It was about maybe 10 minutes or 5. He dragged it towards that time. And he was just confused when he saw the quiz. So he was now in a hurry to quickly complete the quiz. And the quiz were now majorly what they were now going to, when you are now being onboarded, you will now go for an extensive
Mm.
entrepreneurship program training, a self-paced training. So majority of what you are going to learn in that self-paced training were in that quiz. So they will now, when you are now done with that self-paced training, they will now assess you again based on the quiz you had. They want to test the knowledge. Has there now been any difference with the training that you had between your scores? So it's now mandatory for you after the self-paced training to now take that quiz again to assess the knowledge that you have gained from the self-paced training.
Yeah. For our sets, we didn't have that. We had that at the end of our onboarding or something.
Okay.
But for your sets, you would need to somehow use a laptop.
Yes, I use the laptops, yes, because the financial aspect of it, in fact, it was even programmed. There were things they were hard, so you need to work on it in an Excel. So it was in an Excel format. So you need to fill in the questions, fill in your answers in that format that you were given. So there are many terminologies that were asked there. That is where it contains your expenses. There were things in that category. There are expenses category. There were category that has to do with your different costs. There were categories that has to do with even it even went as far as they were asking, I think, what should be your costs on a monthly basis. I think there were even things that has to do with the estimation of your revenue for the next, is it 5 to 10 years in that
Mhm.
financial, yes, in that
Projection.
financial summary where you estimate, yes, your financial projection, your revenue, and what will be even your net profit. There is something called, I think, your operating expenses, profit before tax, profit after tax, and you need to fill all of those things in. I think it even factored in if there are seasonal changes in your business. You need to even factor in those things too. So it was in fact that financial summary is an extensive one. I don't
Mhm.
think that if you are going to apply for anything, maybe outside Tony Elumelu grants, whatever thing that has to do with the financial summary, I think the Tony Elumelu grant, that financial summary
Thank you.
is actually an extensive one, a template that will guide you in responding to whatever I have applied for grants even after the Tony, and it was the other things I was responding to. It was just a walkover for me
Mhm.
because of the training that I had,
Mhm.
responding to the financial aspect of that what do you call it, business plan. So it was really an extensive one.
So
It was
again,
really a good one. Yeah.
if you're applying for the innovator founder visa and you need the extensive financial projection templates, you can reach out to me also. I'll get it from you. Okay. Thank you. And one last thing that we
Okay.
skipped talking about when we spoke about market research, market viability and scalability and the likes is the fact that you started off with an idea does not mean you should end with that idea. I recall I started
Exactly.
off with, let me start a community pharmacy that majorly addresses people with chronic ailments and terminal illnesses. And then when I spoke with one of the patients, then the man asked me, does it mean that if I have high blood pressure and I also come down with
Yeah.
malaria, I cannot use your service because I won't be able to come to your pharmacy because you won't address my malaria? And I was like, oh, that's brilliant. So I started working on
Yeah.
my reviewing, redefining, and improving on that idea. And that was what led me to an app eventually. So that you started off
Yeah.
with one idea does not mean that you should be dogmatic and say this is the idea. You should be
And
flexible
that
as you're making your research, you're reviewing your idea, you're fine-tuning your idea. It may land you in something entirely different.
and that is what we call the ability for you to listen to your audience. Audience are the people that know they are the ones who are buying from you. They are the ones who wants to buy things. So there is something called listening to your audience, because at the end of the day, they are the ones who will even point to you what that they are things that are in demand, that they actually need this, and before you know it, markets evolve. Things that you eventually started with, before you know it, you are venturing into some all other things, and then at the end of the day, they become things that are holistic. That in fact, the new things that you are entering can even overtake your business. That it now becomes the focal point of your business. So markets evolve, and markets evolve because people learn to listen to their audience, and that is very important in business.
Very important. So you should do your market research, whether it's idea stage or an existing business. Thank you so much. I know you're giving us so much of your time. Is there any other thing that you think people would benefit from, especially those that are applying, that would be applying for the TEF grants in 2026? Is there anything that you think that we haven't addressed?
Okay. Now there is this aspect of the Tony Elumelu Foundation. I think you talked about this online training that they talk about. Now it also has to do with, you know, the business character, the character you exude while undertaking your business. You will remember during the course of the Tony Elumelu entrepreneurial journey, they used to say something like Towe, Tony Elumelu Way, TOE Way, or TOE series. And what they were trying to do was about even the life of the founder. They want us to be able to understand what has the founder been doing that eventually brought him to where he is currently. And when you look at that set-based training, it was not only about the business aspect. They also talk about the character aspect of a business and that you need to actually imbibe. That I believe that every business owner needs to take on. Let me take an example. Do you know that, see, when we remove something like hard work, when we remove something like diligence, the ability to follow through with a thing, and that's the reason why even people start those entrepreneurship journey and they do not even finish it or
It's
end
like
it.
it's all in the
When
park.
you remove those character, even resilience, perseverance, they call something growth mindset. That growth mindset that you have, when you remove those character, when you remove it from a business journey, whatever is left, people do not survive. And see, the reason I can tell you that many people do not, that their business does not survive is major. They all boil down to these character defects, that
Mm.
resilience. How do you experience a setback? How do you go? How do you move on? How do you progress
And then,
in spite of the setbacks? And that is what those series sometimes enables you to know. Resilience, the ability that in terms of even if it did not work the way it's supposed to work, you are still on that path, following through, and eventually no founder has been able to achieve much without having gone through these steps. There have been reason for discouragement along the way. But
mm.
at the end of the day, because they have been able to take on this character, imbibe this character, at the end of the day, they were able to get to where they actually planned. They were able to meet their goals, because every business should have a goal timeline, and it is this character that you have that will enable you to be able to fulfill the goals, to be able to get to your right destination. And the two-way series gives you that avenue to understand the life and character of
Mm.
Tony Elumelu. And when you see many of these things and you learn from them, you will know that business is no joke. Put
It's
in
not.
the work.
Mm.
Be always available. Someone talked about showing up always. You are always showing up. There are many reasons why you do not want to wake up today to do what you are supposed to do. But when you understand that you need to show up and you need to make money, the reason, because if you do not show up, you will not make the money. You will not do what you are supposed to do. As you take on the business, challenges come, you surmount it, is building something in you. And they call it resilience. They call it that perseverance. And before you know it, you are a tough person.
Greed.
You do not chicken out
Greed.
easily. Yeah.
Give,
Yes.
give.
Grit. Yes. Grit. You are a top person. You did not chicken out easy. Things happen and you do not say that, let's close that. What are you closing down? It's your life at the end of the day. So that's what it is. Yeah.
Thank you so much. You know, this has actually addressed something I'm going through. So thank you so much. That's very resourceful.
Yeah.
One last thing. One last thing. I'm sorry. I also remember something that they told us during the program. If somebody meets you, let's assume that you're at the airport about to board a plane, and somebody just sees you and comes to you to say, "Hey, hello, young man, what do you do?" What would you tell them? Like on the spot, spontaneously, what would you tell them about your business? And that brings us to the point of elevator pitch. You need to design an
Mm.
elevator pitch for your business, whether it is still idea or whatever. Some applicants of the Innovator Founder Visa, when you are meeting the endorsers and they ask you, what is your business? Maybe in just 1 minute, tell us about your business. That is an elevator pitch. So from everything
Yeah.
that we have spoken about, you need to carve an elevator pitch that encompasses everything in a concise manner. And it is something that is going to sell you. You put your punchline, something that is going to
Exactly.
sell your business.
Yeah.
So that when they tap you from your sleep like this,
Yeah.
they ask you about your business, you say it. And that elevator pitch, you don't have to be rigid. You keep redefining it and reviewing it as well. As your business keeps changing, as you keep understanding the business, because it's a school, you keep learning, you keep redefining your elevator pitch. So thank you so much,
Yeah.
Val. I really appreciate you for your
Yeah.
time.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
So, guys, if you need the business plan template as well as the financial projection template for Tony Elumelu Foundation grants, which I am very certain that would work for your Innovator Founder Visa application, I'm very sure it would work for your Innovator Founder Visa application as well. Join my membership. Yeah, just join my membership. That's it. That's it. It's just for members only. Members only. So link to join would be in the description. Just join my membership. Once you're a member, I'll share it with you in your email. That's it. Thank you so much. If you have gained one thing or the other, please like this video, share it out because it might help somebody that would be applying in 2026 or someone that's planning to apply for the Innovator Founder Visa. And also consider subscribing.